Today's video was sponsored by Pop Culture Zone Pressing Services. If you need your comic books pressed, I personally vouch for Pop Culture Zone as being one of the best professional companies in the game, offering hands down the lowest prices out there. Services start at only $9.99, and every order placed will receive free fast track turnaround times. Even though I press comics for my personal collection, whenever I need a professional press for my key comics, I send them off to Pop Culture Zone, and every single book that I've received back, every single one, has had results that have exceeded my expectations, and I am sure that they will exceed your expectations as well. Make sure you go check the link in the description below to head over to their website, popculturezone.com, for complete details on services and how to begin your order.
We're going to get right into it. Now, this is a segment that Chris does, but as you can see, what's Jer knows?
No, Joe knows.
Joe knows comics and pop culture. He's yeah. By the way, follow 360 Comics. He will be changing it to Joe Knows Comics and Pop Culture. Goonish Lurkers here. Also, Bronzeville Comics. Hello, you fine people. But here's the deal. Chris does this each and every week, and it is a fantastic segment. We're going to have Joe in the place of Chris this week. But what is props or flops? I'll tell you. You upload any comic to Instagram that you want to get opinions on, whether it be us here on the show, whether it be people in the chat or the audience or the community. You hashtag props or flops so we know that's what you're submitting for. Tell us why this book interests you. And as I said, we'll break it down live on the show. We have 3 books this week. Again, guys, hashtag props or flops. Don't you forget, tag us. It can't hurt to tag. It can't hurt to tag Comic Book Cannon. It can't hurt to tag Journos. It can't hurt to tag. Why not 360? Because he is the Tom Hanks of this show. That's all. I mean, people do call you Tom sometimes, and I love that, by the way. So we're gonna get into our first props or flops, and Joe is gonna take it away. But before he does, I'm gonna read it because this is from Green Machine 66. I'm speculating for next year. Plus, I really like it. It's the C2E2 2020 exclusive Unknown Comics and Comics Elite exclusive Miko Cyan variant cover A, Incredible Hulk 340 homage cover. Okay. Joe, your thoughts on this book?
Yeah. So, definitely I'm going to rewind back to the beginning of this where it says, plus I really like it because, you know, it's always good to collect things you like. If you value something as a collectible, as a display piece, just as something that, brings you joy, it's always a good buy. That being said, I'm not so sure about the speculative or investment value of this book. Reason being, it's a variant cover. It's an homage variant cover. And these things do sometimes take off. We've seen books go for, a significant amount of money, both homage covers and variant covers. But it's very, very few and far between. That being said, this isn't, at least I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong about this. It's not like the first appearance of a major character. It's not the most popular Wolverine story arc or something like that. Could this book, become very popular in the future? Absolutely, especially with the popularity of the original cover that it's homaging, the Incredible Hulk 340, Todd McFarlane, certainly, probably one of his top 5 most popular covers, and he's certainly a top 5 artist of all time as far as popularity goes. But yeah, it could go crazy. Who knows? But I think the value, the chances of that happening are pretty low. As far as investing goes, this is more along the lines of a penny stock, something that has a low chance of, doing anything. But if it does become very popular, it certainly could shoot up. So I got to give it the flops on this one. Awesome book. Great that you got it in 9.8 white pages. You definitely always want to do that when speculating on any modern book. But I got to give it the flops here.
I'm going to have to agree. It's very niche, especially, Chris does come at this with a kind of investment angle. And if that's the case, I would have to say it's a flop as well. However, Caleb Leland, he'll give it a props because he loves that cover. Oh, we are not denying that is a fantastic homage cover.
Oh, yeah.
100%. But it's very, very niche. Captain America, if it's a flop, we should say it's a LeBron. Does LeBron flop? I don't think he I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'll tell you that right now. So, but thank you for the submission, Green Machine. Again, you can't lose because you really like it. And that's what's the most important thing here. Don't listen to us for what you should buy or what you shouldn't. We're just giving an example or giving our opinion based on what you have asked us. All right. And again, we want to hear from y'all in the community, what you think. So we have our second one here. I'll be reading the description. This is from Synth N1998. Hey, y'all. I've seen this book around for a while now. I just pulled the trigger on it about an hour ago. First edition. I spent around $500 on it with tax and all. The problem is that I don't know if I made the right decision by buying it. My justification was that since Riri is appearing in the Black Panther movie next month, this is the lowest that prices are ever going to be. I know the prices have dropped significantly from the beginning of the year. If Riri gets accepted by the mainstream audience, the price of this would skyrocket. I don't want to miss out on this like I did in Ultimate Fallout 4. What do you guys think about the decision? This is a good one. I have thoughts, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts, Chris. I mean, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Riri has so much potential. There's no sign of the MCU slowing down anytime soon. You know, there have been a couple little hiccups along the way, some shows and, you know, over the last year and some movies that have maybe not gotten the best reviews, you know, by critics, by fans, you know, but the money is still coming in. You know, the box office is still good on Eternals, you know, and that was probably one of the biggest flops of the last, you know, year or two. So I have high hopes for the future of the MCU. I have high hopes for this character. You know, I think that she is underappreciated as far as the characters that came out during this era. You know, Spider-Gwen, Kamala Khan. This is one of the ones that's a little bit overlooked, was a little bit less known and less popular before this announcement was made. But you know, we need an Iron Man. We need a you know, a metal suit genius to be in the MCU. You know, we still got War Machine, but Don Cheadle's getting old. Who knows how long that's going to last. That being said, I love it. It is a 9.8, right? I actually can't see on the screen.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So definitely important to be a 9.8. I 100% think that was a good choice. I did look at recent sales on this one, and this is where I'm getting a little bit concerned, because recent sales I've seen for first printings right about $400. And it says, you know, I spent around $500 on it. Now that's with tax and all. So
probably shipping too, right?
Yeah, tax and shipping. And you know, it says 500 USDs. This person might be from a different country, in which case, you know, getting it for $500 shipped out of the country, probably pretty good. You know, so I think this book is a great buy. I think this character is not only going to, you know, grow in popularity among the comic book community, but also just the public in general. They have not seen her yet. The average person who goes and watches the MCU movies, whether they watch everyone or, you know, every few of them, they don't know this character yet. And, you know, maybe they read something in a blurb about, you know, the future of Marvel on whatever website they're getting their information from. But this is not a character that we've seen yet. I think there's a lot of potential. I think that the actor attached to her is signed on for 23 appearances, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, the series is her series is coming out, so that's got to be 8 to 10 episodes right there. And then,
okay, so I wasn't sure if that counted as 1 or 8 to 10.
Yeah, I haven't read those stats, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, you know, either way, you know, this character is going to be in multiple projects for sure. Is going to be a big part of the future. So I think this is a great buy, especially right now. The market is down. It's a buyer's market. If you're getting things at or around fair market value, you're probably going to be pretty happy in you know, in the long run. Do I think this book in 6 months will be, you know, twice as much as it is? No, I think this book is one of those ones that's going to take a little bit. We all know she's coming. It's not going to be a surprise when she shows up in Black Panther next week. We all know that, but she's going to gain popularity over the next few years. So I'm actually going to give this one a props, despite the maybe overpaying a little bit. Like I said, they were going for about 400 on eBay. And then there's shipping, there's taxes and stuff like that. So, we're getting up to like 450, 460. So it's a little bit of an overbuy. Maybe it was the only one available at the time, but I think that long-term, this will be a good book. So I'm going to give it a prop.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. And I'm just going to assume, again, from the phrasing here, US dollars, 500 US dollars. What do you got? I mean, at least 8% tax, right? That's $32. So that's $432. $25 maybe for shipping. So we're looking at $457. Yep. So, 43 extra dollars in addition is we can't really account for. So you're looking at $100 over fair market. Okay. I still think it's a props, no doubt. And I'm going to correct you actually, because the mainstream has seen Riri. She's been in a Target commercial already. Yeah,
I don't watch much TV, so
for the past few weeks, she has been in a Target commercial. So she's slowly getting introduced. They obviously didn't go into her backstory, who she is, but it's a cross promotion with Target and Black Panther. So and it's really good.
Hi, I'm Riri Williams, and when I need a candle or a notepad or some cheap clothes,
it doesn't play out that way. And I'm not going to.
It's not like that.
No, it's not like that at all. But you should actually be in advertising. But she's here for the long haul because she has her series that is already. I think they completed filming, and they're going to be obviously in post production. It's going to come out next year, right off of her first appearance in Black Panther. I give it a props. I'm not going to go as far as say this is an ultimate Fallout 4. No. However, I do think that you'll be very happy for what you paid for a year from now.
Yeah. These younger characters have not had a chance to heat up yet. We saw what happened with Miles, and I don't think anyone is going to replicate Miles. I'm not saying that, whether we're talking about Kamala Khan or Amadeus Cho or any character, even X-23, who probably is, probably the second most popular of the recent character, maybe Spider-Gwen. I don't think any of them are going to catch up just because, has any character caught up to Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man? Yeah. No, of course not. But the room is there to grow. The ceiling is higher than where the book is at right now. I think especially in this buyer's market, that's the really part of the important part is that right now prices are down. They're down lower than they were 6 months ago, 12 months ago. I'm personally acquiring a lot of stuff right now because of that.
Yep. So again, props all around. I don't think you didn't get any flops here from the audience either. So good one on that. Synth.N 1998. All right. And our final props or flop submission, we got Super Awesome Geek Show. Hey, I got a props or flops for you here. Through the years, I've skipped annuals here and there, never been concerned with getting them all. So I missed this gem when it came out. Amazing Spider-Man King Size Annual number 10. First appearance of the Human Fly. I know it's odd, but really, I just love the Human Fly. And when I saw these in a $2 bin at a local comic show, I had to grab them. And now the Human Fly has a Marvel Legends action figure coming out. I know not many people like this character or even care, but let me know what you guys think. Props or flops on this one. Joe.
All right. So without going into any detail, I'm going to right off the bat give this a flop. A props. Sorry about that. Ooh. Not a flop. Absolutely not a flop.
That's a big mistake.
100%. I didn't even have to really look anything up or think about this at all. This is a prop. Couple reasons behind that make it a prop, and they all combine together to make it a super prop, is this is an ASM book from the Bronze Age? What is it? This mid-70s?
Yes, it has to be.
That. Maybe late 70s, but nonetheless, ASM book from that time period for $2. I'm buying any book in mid-grade or better, and honestly, most of those books in a low grade for $2, because we're talking about the most popular run of comic books ever with the most popular character in comic books ever. And Bronze Age stuff is, at this point, what the early Bronze Age stuff is 40 years old now. The older Bronze Age stuff is 50 years old. This stuff is not getting any newer. It's not getting any more available. It's not getting any, higher grade than the ones that there are. And in my opinion, annuals are extremely underrated. There are so many annuals out there that have key significances that do not sell for what they would if that book was a regular title book. Other than Avengers Annual 10 and some Silver Age annuals, there really are none that like have gained popularity and traction. Even a lot of the X-Men ones, which are often origin stories and stuff like that, they just don't have nearly as much value. There's one of them that's an X-Men one. You find it in dollar bins all the time. I forget what issue it is. But it's the second appearance and first cover appearance of Jubilee. And it's the first meeting of the X-Men and I forget who off the top of my head, but nonetheless, second appearance and first cover appearance of Jubilee, and you find it in dollar bins all the time. That's crazy. So annuals, I think, are really underrated. So great buy there on the annual, great buy there on being Bronze Age, great buy there on being Spider-Man. And Human Fly is a character that has been pretty significant. Not obviously not a major character or anything like that, but as mentioned, there is a Marvel Legends action figure. This character had his own run in the Bronze Age, which you could pick up for very cheap. You can, you might be able to find a nice copy of the book issue number 1 for $5-10 at a comic shop. And the rest of them are dollar bin books. Like you can put that run together if you're interested in the character. So again, just adding a little bit more to this prop. This is just, 2 thumbs up for me on this one for $2. Absolutely props all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that as well. It's all the ingredients you said. It was $2. It's a Bronze Age Spider-Man book with a first appearance. Absolutely props. 100%. That's great work there. Super awesome geek show. And going back to what you were saying, Dan De La Torre, he agreed. Even before you said, he said annuals have been so overlooked for decades. Annuals usually have cool extra stuff like extra stories or pinup pages. Bronzeville says a lot of folks who collect runs do not collect the annuals, so they do get overlooked quite a bit. And Spider Dude, all Amazing Spider-Man annuals are props for me, obviously. So props all around on that. I'm liking this. Was a great props or flops. Those are some great submissions. We did have a flop, but only because it was a very niche book. Everything else was props there. So guys, keep sending these in. This is a fun segment. I'm going to remind you one more time. Props or flops. Upload any comic to Instagram that you have questions about, that you want us to answer on the show or the community to answer as well. Make sure you use the hashtag props or flops. Tell us why this book interests you. We'll break it down on our show. Again, can't hurt to tag Comic Book Canon, Journos. Hey, 360, Tom Hanks. Why not? And yeah, we'll have fun with that each and every week. Great props or flops segment right there. Go ahead, Chris.
I just want to say something real quick. You mentioned this being a really great one. I definitely agree that these 3 were really good picks on Chris's part, the real Chris, not me. And that being said, the fact that there was a flop, in my opinion, that's good. The whole point of this is to discuss and learn from each other and, see different sides of the situation and maybe delve into something that you haven't personally thought of yet that, and I'm looking at the comments, also hearing things that I haven't thought of yet. This is a learning experience for all of us as collectors, as investors, speculators, and, seeing flops. If there was just props all day, we wouldn't be learning nearly as much.
And it's not both sides. Because there's a flops, it's not like this is wrong. You're just asking for our opinion. Again, you like the book, therefore it is a props for you. No doubt about it. So Absolutely. Not even something to worry about. All right.